Look at these poor, wretched souls addicted to over-the-counter medication.
Or at least that was the idea. But sadly, life isn't nearly as interesting. Armadillidium vulgare, the pill bug, or the roly-poly, is part of kingdom Animalia, phylum Arthropoda, class
These remarkable little guys are able to do something quite amazing. If disturbed, because of their unique, segmented physiology, they often roll up into a ball.
Class Malacostra, order Isopoda, family
They have 2 antennae and 6 legs. Truly quite a remarkable creature.
Using 200 milligrams of dissolved ibuprofen, 325 milligrams of Tylenol,
genus no!
10 milligrams of allergy medication, 4 leaves, 3 beakers, a choice chamber,
genus Armadillidium, and species vulgare.
20 roly-polies, we began our crusade to get these little isopods addicted to drugs.
After dipping each leaf into the solutions with the drugs dissolved in them, we placed them into the choice chambers and waited, releasing 20 roly-polies into the center and recording where each of them went.
Through these very scientific trials, Taya Greenup, Isaiah Evangelista, and I, Lola Eden, found that the drugs we'd planted didn't seem to show what we'd first hypothesized, which was that out of the chambers for each pill, the most pill bugs will go to the ibuprofen chamber. But that didn't happen, proving all our worst fears of getting these arthropods addicted to over-the-counter medication were wrong.
Though the initial aim of the experiment was to determine whether or not 3 high school students playing God would be able to get a couple of pill bugs addicted to pills, our hypothesis was wrong. So was our null hypothesis, which stated that each drug will attract the roly-polies to their chamber in equal amounts.
This data table here shows how many pill bugs there were in each chamber after a given amount of time. And this graph here shows the distribution more visually.
As you can see here, these little guys spent the most time in total in the positive control chamber, the one without drugs.
But the story doesn't end there. If you take a look at the bar for Tylenol, it's nearly identical to the positive control, if not a little bit below. But because these error bars overlap, there is no significant difference between the two, meaning that we maybe got the pill bugs addicted to Tylenol.
But probably not. After observation, it appeared as though the only reason they seemed to have an affinity for Tylenol was the smell, and not the effects of the drug itself.
So what exactly did we find? Something kind of interesting, actually. For the most part, these bugs seem to avoid most of the drugs, except for Tylenol, seemingly because of the smell. But an interesting case was this little guy. It appeared as though he consumed a rather large particle of Tylenol and just began to freak out and eventually die. So what does that mean?
Because our trials were so short, and the results of the experiment are less than peer-reviewed, we don't know.
But despite that, we have a slightly better working hypothesis for next time. As compared to a negative control, is Armadillidium vulgare more likely to consume a leaf covered in Tylenol? Is it lethal to pill bugs? And does allergy medication actually sort of ward off these cute little isopods?
We might never know for sure, but what we do know is that 3 high school students playing God cannot, in fact, get pill bugs addicted to pills.